Hey guys, it's Dominique here, and I am bringing you 5 tips before you study abroad. So for those of you who do not know, I recently got back from Barcelona, Spain. I studied abroad there during the fall 2016 semester, and I absolutely love it. Like, there's some days I wake up, like I'm back home now, but there's some days I wake up and I'm just like, why am I not in Spain? I just get confused. Like, when I go outside and I hear English, I'm like, why is everybody speaking English? Like, I don't get it. But yeah, I had the time of my life. It's honestly like one of my best college memories, as well as one of my best college experiences. So if you're watching this video and you are like all set to go abroad, or you're planning to go abroad, just know I am super duper jealous of you, because if I could go back, I promise I would in a heartbeat. Like, the good experiences, the bad experiences, the little interesting experiences, like, it was all worth it. And there is nothing else that compares to your study abroad experience. So kudos to you for taking the first steps. And now I'm going to give you some of the tips that, I want to share based off of my experience abroad. I've also talked to some of my friends, and they gave me some tips because I studied abroad with some people. So stay tuned and let's get into it. So the first tip is, I just want to give you some helpful apps to download while you're abroad. Well, before you go abroad, that will help you while you're abroad. So the first app is WhatsApp. So a lot of people in Europe, I studied abroad in Barcelona, Spain, which is in Europe. So a lot of people there use WhatsApp. Like, I've met so many people like from Germany, from Spain, from England, who are like, they don't ask like, hey, what's your phone number? They ask like, hey, what's your WhatsApp? So that was like a major way of communicating with people. And of course, I did not download it before I went abroad, and I had so much trouble trying to download it once I was abroad because I didn't have service. So what it is it's basically like a messenger app that allows you to make calls, allows you to send messages, and it does all of this through Wi-Fi. So some people, when they go abroad, they decide to like purchase a SIM card in that country that they're living, but I decided not to do that. So what I decided to do was just wing it off Wi-Fi. But because I was winging it off Wi-Fi, I had a lot of trouble downloading the WhatsApp app and getting it to work, because it has to send a confirmation text to your phone number. And since I didn't have service, it was really difficult for me to get the code sent to my phone. But eventually it all worked out. But I do recommend downloading this app before you go abroad, because it's going to be super helpful, especially when you're trying to communicate with people. Wi-Fi is really easy to come across, so I never felt the need to buy a SIM card. But if you do feel the need to buy a SIM card, like, they're super cheap over there, and that is like a great way of communicating if that's what you want to do. Another app I want to recommend is Square Cash. So I'm sure you guys have all heard of like Cash App. It's how me and my friends like pay each other in the States. So say if somebody pays for one thing, but we need to split it like 5 ways, one person will pay for it, and then they'll just request the money from each of the other 4 people. And it's super easy because I personally don't keep cash on me. And when I was abroad, you have to pay like ATM service fees as well as conversion fees. Like, so it was just really expensive to just like constantly go get cash out of the ATM. So say if somebody paid for something, whether it was a hotel room or, we had to split the check for a bill, one person would pay for it and then the rest would just like cash out the money, which is really nice because you never had to wait on people to like actually physically hand you money. Like, you can send the request, and then as soon as they get the request, they can just pay, and it just like goes from their bank account to yours. So I use that app to this day. Like, I still use that here in the States. It's amazing. If you don't know about it, definitely do your research, because you need to download that app. And the last app I wanted to tell you guys about, I'm sure you guys know about it, heard about it, Google Maps. Google Maps is like a lifesaver, honestly. It'll tell you like all of the different metro options in the area. So like, it'll tell you if you want to take the metro, this is what line you should take, this is what exit you should take. Like if you want to use the bus, it'll tell you this is what bus you need to take, this is where you can take it from, you need to go in this direction. It'll give you like the timetable of like when it's supposed to come to, which is amazing because when you're in these different countries, like chances are you're not going to have a car. So you're definitely going to have to rely on public transportation or just walking. And Google Maps got me from point A to point B all the time. Like it was very direct. I wasn't doing any circles. Like it was great. So make sure you download those apps before you go abroad. And so the next tip I have is you're going to be abroad. Like you are never going to have an opportunity like this ever in your life. So take advantage of it. Travel to as many countries as possible, but make sure you plan your trips in advance. And I say that because it kind of ties into my next tip, which is budget your money. But when you're abroad, chances are you're not gonna have a job, so you're gonna be on like a very fixed budget and you're gonna have to make your money stretch. The further you plan your trip in advance, the cheaper things will be. So first of all, if you're going to Europe, flights are already cheap. I mean, I only paid 48 euros for a flight from Barcelona to Brussels. Like super cheap, and we did that maybe like a week in advance. So imagine if we would have did it like a little bit more than a week in advance. Like it would have been 20 something euros round trip. That's an exaggeration. It could be, could not be, I don't know. But yeah, so definitely plan your trips in advance. Hotels are cheaper, flights are cheaper. Like it's just so much cheaper to do that in advance. And if you just find a group of people that you're really cool with, you don't need like a big group of people. If you find a big group of people, cool. But like there are some trips, it was just me and my one friend, and we went to Belgium and we had an amazing time. So definitely plan your trips. So one of the things that I really wish I would have done more of was exploring my home country more. I spent a lot of time traveling to other countries because it was just so cheap that I didn't really like explore Spain. Like, well, I was in a program and we went to some places in Spain, but other than that, like I didn't go to Madrid or I didn't really go to southern Spain. But yeah, I regret that because Spain is such a beautiful place, and like with the different regions, there's different cultures, there's different like foods to try, there's different like lifestyles. So I really wish that I would have done that. I also wish I would have made more local friends, but I think the language barrier had a little bit to do with that. I'm not fluent in Spanish at all. I know a little, just a little. Like I'm functional. I can order food. I can tell you I need to use the bathroom. I can understand a lot more than I can speak. But yeah. So if you do have the option to make friends with locals, do it, because they know some of the best spots. You really get engulfed in the culture if you do more of the local things than if you were to do something like party with Americans every night. So think about it. So I think we're on tip number 4 now. So tip number 4 is budget your money wisely. Like I said earlier, chances are you aren't working, so you have a fixed amount of money for the entire semester, and everybody's amount is a little bit different. So my fixed amount was definitely like on the low end, but like I said, I still traveled, I still had a lot of fun. You just have to be very like conscious of what you're spending your money on and what you want to put your money towards. And that's why planning trips in advance is really important, because when I planned all my trips in the beginning of the semester, I only spent like $500 on hotels and flights altogether. So then all of the other money I had was able to be like for spending money or just like living or food, and that worked out for me. Like by the end of the semester, yes, I was like broke, but I had an amazing experience and I got to go see all these different places. So just make sure you're budgeting your money. At the beginning of the semester, just take out like, I want to spend this much, or be more realistic. I want to go to these places. I want to spend this much money. And then based off of how much money you want to spend, decide what's actually in your budget, where you can actually go, how much money you can spend while you're abroad, or while you're in the other countries. And that'll make a world of difference, because if you budget your money, you won't be asking mom and dad to save you like at the end of the semester, because there's nothing worse than that, honestly. Because honestly, I rode British Airways, and I know people who like didn't have money to like check their bags back to the US, and they had to like scrape up as much coins as they could, because those baggage fees are not cheap. It's like $100 per bag. So I ended up paying like $400 round trip, of course, but $200 each way to take my bags back and forth to the US. So keep that in mind, because people forgot, and then they got to the airport and was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? So keep that in mind. Speaking of airports, this is my last tip, is just definitely pack light. I promise you, you are not gonna wear everything that you think you're gonna wear. If you're in a place like Spain, the weather is pretty moderate, so you don't need a lot of stuff. I brought 2 suitcases full of stuff, and I really regret that, because it was really difficult, like getting from both places, like getting from the airport, getting to my apartment, because I had like these 2 bags and a carry-on and a book bag, and it was just like a lot. But 1 suitcase is probably fine, and then bring a carry-on bag, because when you take your little trips, they charge so much for a checked bag. So it's just so much easier to just have like a little carry-on bag, and have a little carry-on bag with wheels, because for some reason European airports are a mall. Like, you really have to walk through a whole mall to get through your terminal. And if you have like a really heavy carry-on bag, because you just tried to like stuff everything in there, you will be struggling, like really struggling through the airport. And just having like a little rolly bag could just save you so many problems. So definitely pack light. Pack like your favorite products, because chances are they're not gonna have them abroad. They have really basic products. I'm not gonna say really basic, but they have the basics. But like, if you're like me and you have like, you know, natural hair, they're not gonna have your Cantu leave-in conditioner. They're not gonna have your Shea Moisture. So make sure you pack all of that before you go, and definitely get like a big tube. That way it'll last you the whole semester. But so that is all of my tips. As of right now, I'm sure I'll probably think of some more stuff and probably create another video. But tell me what you think, leave comments, and if you have any questions, like, just hit me up, because I will be more than happy to share my experience with you and help you in any way I can. But good luck on your study abroad experience. Be open-minded, try everything, and just make the most of it, because like I said before, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I think it's like a really low number of percentage. It's like only like 5% maybe of American students go abroad. So if you're doing it, you're one of the few. If you're not doing it, you should be doing it. And if you already did it, like, we're just the cool kids, I guess. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon.